and your superhuman. Today, I have a guest coming to us from Ireland. Her name is Tosin Olusoga, and she actually has a podcast called Thriving Introvertly, which I love. So this is why we connected. And
Introverts
Tosin,
We Thrive podcast.
oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Introvertly thriving. My apologies.
No problem.
Tosin helps introverts in 9 to 5 step out into their purpose, increase their visibility and impact so they can live happier and more fulfilled lives. Welcome to the show, Tosin.
Thank you so much for having me, Ria. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here, honestly. I mean, we've spoken before and you know, we lost track of time just chatting because we just had so much in common to talk about. Yeah. But I want to unpack that a little bit. You know, in that sentence in alone, you know, you help introverts step out into their light, step out and shine and feel more fulfilled in their own lives. Tell us about that.
Well, it really just started with me being, as I stand here today or sit here today with you and saying, you know, I'm a proud introvert right now. And, you know, I've never always been in that place, you know. As you introduced me, I'm, you know, the host of the Introverts We Thrive podcast, introvert coach, doing all these things, and now saying that I'm a proud introvert, but it wasn't always that way, you know, because for many of us introverts, we have really just grown up in society, feeling as if we're not good enough, right? And feeling as if like in the extrovert society, a personality that is much more praised in the society that we live in today, that, you know, where do we fit in? How can we really thrive as ourselves, you know? So I've always, when I was growing up, I was always in that mindset that, you know, I had to be the fake extrovert. I had to be, you know, an extrovert in order to be seen, to be heard. And that really didn't work out for me. A lot of the, I guess, relationships that I built while trying to be that, they didn't last. In fact, they brought me more pain than, you know, happiness. And, you know, when those kind of tumbled down, I kind of reverted back to my natural self. But still finding, you know, in the workplace, for me as a young working professional at that time, I struggled to find my voice. I struggled to, you know, gain connections with people because I always felt misunderstood. I felt like people never gave me, got a chance to really know me and know that how fun I can actually be, how, you know, insightful I can be, but never really getting that chance. And I remember coming back home from work one day as a young working professional, and you know, being in an environment that I'm constantly feeling as if I'm not good enough or I can't really thrive in as an introvert, I remember coming back and saying, you know, well, is this all there is? Like, is this all there is, me, you know, in this 9 to 5, and feeling as if I had something more to give, something more to become, but not knowing how someone who really kind of struggled in the workplace to form connections with people would be able to step out and do my own thing, and step out and, you know, be worthy of having an audience, be worthy of, you know, people gravitating towards me. So, you know, I started going through the motions in that moment. And from there on in, I just said, well, maybe that world is not for me. Maybe I'm not meant to do whatever it is that I feel in my spirit to do. Maybe that world is not for me, you know, maybe I won't be accepted. And I just remember being in my bedroom and, you know, about to go to sleep and just scrolling on social media like we all do sometimes, just, you know, scrolling on social media and seeing how so many people seem to be doing wonderful things in their own lives and things that, you know, they're probably purposed to do. And just feeling that void that, you know, how is this going to be possible for me? You know, I had a constant void and constant feeling of unfulfillment. And I was like, how am I going to get to this place? Because I'm tired of the state that I'm in right now. I want to be more. I just don't know how. And I don't know if I'm capable, you know?
Mm.
So that very night I came across a video, and that video was titled Everything Must Go. And I just remember, towards the end of that video, um, I was in tears and I was crying because in that moment I realized that, you know what, like being an introvert is not my issue here. Like being who I am is not the issue. The real issue is my mindset and kind of the things that I had around me that I needed to let go of, because
Mm.
there were the things that were blocking me from um getting the clarity that I needed, feeling as if I could win and be successful just as I am. So I started to embark on a journey from there on end, and that pretty much led me to where I am today, where I'm saying, I'm a proud introvert. And I do want to help other introverts who are in that space, especially, not to downplay 9 to 5s or anything like that. But
Mm.
some of us find our purpose might not necessarily be attached to our 9 to 5s, right?
Yep.
We might be purposed to do something a bit outside that, and that's okay. But a lot of us introverts fear taking those steps because, number one, we feel like because we're not, you know, seen as thriving in the workplace, or because people have said some things, especially in the workplace, to make us feel as if, maybe this is not the life for me. I want to help those introverts to say, well, no, it is for you and you can do it. And you don't have to constantly feel as if you are stuck, or so you have that feeling of unfulfillment. You can live a happier life just as you are. So that's really, what brought me here, and now saying that I'm an introvert coach and helping on the introverts, because I want them to get to this place that I am now, where I'm saying, I'm a proud introvert, I have a podcast, I'm a coach, that kind of thing. So yeah.
That's beautiful. And it's almost hard to believe, right? Like that you are an introvert, because you are on, you've got your own podcast now. You're on my podcast, because I mean, as introverts are like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. That's scary, and I have to share things, and so
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
is that, and I love I see it more as an analogy with the 9 to 5. Like you said, it doesn't mean necessarily that 9 to 5 is not for you, but it's more of like that enclosure of time frame. It's like we some people grow up believing, myself included, that to go to school, get a get a good job, and that's what you're going to do for the rest of your
Yeah.
life. And I didn't have entrepreneurs or people that were doing anything outside of the curve around me. So that's what I thought also was my ladder that I had to climb. And so
Yeah.
when you had that moment, I guess, when you watch this video, which what did you say, everything must go, which sounded like a big sale, right? It sounded like everything's got to clear out of
Yeah.
here, take it, it's got to
Yeah.
go. And I love that. So
Yeah.
you're saying that really was the pivotal moment for you, like where you went, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, because there were so many things that I realized that they were the ones feeding me with the feeling that I'm not good enough, the
Mm.
negative mindset. So basically, I have like something that I call the 4 steps to start thriving as an introvert. And one of those steps is the release. So the release of, the negativity, the contradictions, and the counterfeits. And what I mean by that is, that first stage where I was like, everything must go, was literally involved like people or things or mindsets that I just needed to break free from, because that was going to lead me to becoming more like my better self, and becoming being able to feel as if I can actually take those steps. And when I say things like I would say unhealthy attachments, and sometimes for me, and I know a lot of us introverts out there, some of us, you know, we, in order to, because we have that feeling of unfulfillment and we feel like, yeah, there's something more, but we're not really living it. That leads to us kind of like filling voids. So we're trying to fill the void with other things. And those other things could be development of unhealthy attachments to things or to people. There was one particular person that I remember that, you know, because I was a person that I kind of really struggled to form connections with people just because I felt like, you know, they didn't give me a chance. They didn't get to know me as much, and, you know, peel back the layers and that kind of thing. So the people that I did have around me, I didn't want to seem as if I didn't have as much friends. I didn't want to be viewed as like a loner. So I was like, I don't want to lose some of these people. So because of that kind of mindset, not like they were actually the one, unknowingly to them, feeding me with those kind of feelings that I'm not, you know, I'm not good enough, or I can't be, you know, more in life, that kind of thing. So letting go of those unhealthy attachments to various types of like food, that kind of thing, like it's really, really like it's really important, because, you know, you can try to fill that void with anything, and really letting go of those unhealthy attachments really sets you up to really becoming your best self as an introvert. So it all started from that video, everything must go, and everything really did have to go in order for me to be myself now. So
That's
yeah.
great. It allowed you to let go and transform into honor who you really
Yes.
are as you. It's like when I say transform, it's
Yeah.
almost like, well, actually, you didn't have to change. You just needed to accept you for the introvert that you are, for the qualities that you share,
Yeah.
and that it's okay not to have
Yeah.
to pretend to be the extrovert or pretend to be, you know, someone that, you know, you're truly not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So was that step 1 and 2, or was that just 1? Because I feel like that was quite a lot you told us there.
Yes, that was step one. So that's the release stage. So
Yeah.
the second step is really do you rewire? So rewire for purpose. So it's really just making sure that you are filling your mind with the things that are going to put you in that space of believing that you are good enough and you are adequate and you are powerful, those types of things. And for me, you know, it's the positive affirmations. And, you know, a lot of people, they feel some sort of way with positive affirmations and that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
it really does take like reading out things that you might not necessarily see now, but you want to make that your reality. So when you're speaking it, honestly, like it's so powerful, and you will find yourself becoming that which you're speaking, and you will find the things that you're speaking gravitating towards you, all because you spoke it out. And you know, I've expressed before, like I am, you know, a person of faith as well, and I do believe that everything that we speak, it becomes manifested. So it's really getting into that space where, you know, you're feeding yourself with the right things to rewire your mind to accept that, you know, you're taking those steps out. You are, like I said, powerful. You are your personality is a gift, those types of things. So it's really just an important step as well in the rewire stage. Yeah.
It's very important in so many ways, and you put that so beautifully. And I think I just want to complement that by saying, you know, we also find ourselves in places where we really need these affirmations at times where we don't feel like we
Yeah.
believe it, and we don't want to do it, you know. And those are
Yeah.
the times where you need to do it even more, when you are feeling, you know, we
Mm.
out of lockdown here where I am, and it's like a lot of people don't cope well with that, and so they're feeling pretty lousy. And then
Yeah.
those are the days where you might need to just grab your journal,
Mm.
or just even say something nice, like I
Yes.
am, like I will get through this,
Yeah.
everything, something really positive, to help them, to help elevate them out of that really that not so happy state. And I always tell my
Yeah. And I
clients,
love the
oh,
way.
sorry, go on.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, please. As I was just going to talk about
Oh,
something.
no. Oh, no, because I love the way you said journaling, because journaling has been something that, has helped me. Um, it's really kind of like a place that not only can you release a
Mhm.
lot of things, but you can also like rewire as well, like we're talking about now. And it's been something for me that has helped me to be my own, I guess sometimes now how I use it is I'll write down how I'm feeling and then I will counsel myself and basically like, stop being such a baby. I've literally written that in my journal. So it's
Yeah.
really like a place that you can it really just helps as well. And it's something that I still use till this day. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm nodding, but for the audio you can't see, but because I truly resonate with what you said as well. Like I journal, I love it. I feel a void if I don't. And it's just that initial,
Mm.
sometimes it's just good to have a brain dump, like just really get all your thoughts out on paper
Yes.
and evaluate it. Like you said, sometimes you'll reflect and be like, hey, actually, things are pretty good, and you might write some things you're grateful
Yeah.
for, or even if there is something that is bothering you and you write it out and you're like, well, actually, you almost problem solve it like just by reading it. And
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
therapeutic. And one thing that I do, just
Yes,
to
it
touch
is.
upon with
Yeah.
the affirmation, is I actually do write an affirmation at the end of my journal every day as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's powerful. Very
So what I
powerful.
was going to say before about how like affirmations and the importance of saying it out loud, it's also I say to people, you hear you, and and it
Yeah.
means different things to people at different times, but just in how we're speaking about it now, if you do the opposite and you say hurtful and hateful and negative things about yourself, and you start to believe that,
Yeah.
I'm not worthy,
Mm.
oh you're so stupid, oh all of these sorts of negative things, you start to own it, you start to believe it, it becomes an identity for yourself. So really, what's the harm
Yeah.
in flipping it on its head and just trying to say these
Mm.
nicer, more positive, more beneficial to you phrases that maybe you may not believe it when you first start saying it, but hopefully eventually you'll feel as though that you do deserve to think of yourself that way.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, your body is listening to you, it's listening to what you're saying. So when you are saying those negative things, your body is actually like your body's making you see things and in a way that is making those statements true. So if you're saying that, oh, I'm not worthy, the things that you will see and your body is going to be trained to form thoughts or perspectives that are making you believe that that is true. So like you said, why not flip the narrative and change it and say, no, I am worthy. And your eyes, your body, your thoughts will actually begin to show you how that's true.
Mhm.
So that's an important thing to add there as well.
It is. So what's three?
Three is rebuild your circle. And this was an important, really key step for me, because sometimes the circles that we are in are not, they're not, they're not really in line with who we really want to be or who we are aspiring to be. So if you are in a circle of people who are making you feel as if, oh, you're just an introvert, like introverts don't do that, or, those types of things, then you actually do need to pull yourself out of those circles, those communities,
Mm.
and realign yourself with people who are going to be, speak life into you and speak life into your dreams, so that you can become your very best self and walk in your purpose. So it's really key because, you know, the people who are around us have so much influence over how we view ourselves, even how we the things that we aspire to be, the things we want to do, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so important that on your journey to taking those steps into your purpose, that you ensure that you align yourself with the right people that are going to help you in that journey as well.
Yes. 100%. And as you evolve and change and circumstances in your life change, then that circle will also evolve and change. And more often than not, it will become smaller. But the quality of that circle is far more important than the quantity. You know, my father used to always say to me, especially when I was younger, and I'm sure it was similar for you, because it sounded like you felt like you needed to have a lot of friends or a lot of people around you. And my dad used to always said, you have too many friends. And I was like, what do you mean? Don't be silly. You know, he's like, you should be able to count like those friends closest to you on one hand. And you know, I didn't understand that back like then, but obviously it very, you know, a resounding yes now, in terms of I get it, Dad, like it's true. You know, those people that speak to your soul, and those are the people that can actually, they can lift you, but they can hurt you. So you have to be mindful of who you allow into that circle. Yeah.
And it really, like, I'll share like how that was really beneficial for me. And one of the communities that I was in, I stepped into that community not knowing what to expect, not knowing whether, you know, there's so much, you know, people around, and I didn't know, like, you know, how to whether it was going to be for me, that kind of thing. You know, so I remember doing like one of the challenges in that community, and that was to really just post um, um, your wins, basically, or to post like some win you had in a week or that kind of thing. And I remember posting something, and I was like, oh, well, I did this thing where I went live on Instagram for like 5 days, like straight, and that was like a big step for me. So I just posted in the group, and you know, I was like, well, yeah, I did this, it's kind of small, but yeah. And people, like, they checked me, they're like, that is not small, that is a huge win, you know, well done, this is amazing, that kind of thing. And just the way I felt so empowered, I felt so supported. And that is going to be the type of thing that really helps and motivates you to just keep going and believe in yourself and what you're doing. Even those small steps you're taking, they matter, because in the long run, they are like, they will add up, you know? So yeah.
That's awesome. That's definitely no small thing, because I can't say that I've ever done that. So maybe I'm more introverted than I realize. I don't know, but like, or where did you get that courage to do that? Because it's like hitting live is scary.
Yes, it is. And I just wanted to just see what it was going to be like. It wasn't going to be any long thing. Like, I had like 10 minutes and that's it, you know?
Yep.
So I just wanted to see how I would do and how I can just share what a message with my Instagram followers, and just try it out and see it. It's not something that I'll be doing like every single time, but I just wanted to, you know, try it out.
Yep.
And yeah, and it was a win, I guess.
Huge win, huge win. Kudos, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. So
Thank you.
that's 3, right? So what's 4?
Yeah. 4 is reveal your gift to the world. It's really reveal it. Step out in your purpose and reveal it. And the reason why I say that is, you know, while we're taking those steps and, you know, stepping into our purpose, whatever that may be, we introverts like to hide. We like to, hide behind, you know, a few things. So for example, I know with myself, having like, I used to have like a blog or mini blog, that kind of thing. And I would send it to just like a few families, maybe some friends, and not really want to put myself out there. But at the end of the day, like, our purpose is for others, is to help and serve others, right? So why would you deny people of your talents and your gifts by keeping them hidden? It's really important that, you know, you share your gifts and talents with the world, and in a way that you feel is true to you, not to be inauthentic, just to be yourself. It's so key. It's so key. And that's where you find the joy. That's where you find the fulfillment, and happiness, honestly. So it's a key step.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
And I can see how all of those 4 steps really, they really do take you on that journey to a more fulfilled, purposeful
Yeah.
place, which is exactly what
Yeah.
you represent, and what you're all about now is in yourself, and where you obviously lead your, you know, clients and the people that you work with, as an introvert coach, which I love. I've not heard of that before meeting you, Tosin, I admit. But when I think about it, it's not too different to what I feel I bring to people when I work with them, in terms of giving them that confidence to know that they can do more, or they can achieve more than they ever thought was possible, because you know, they've been so struck down with these limiting beliefs and these you know, nuances around them, that, you know, people have said, oh, you can't do that, or you know, who are you to do that? And it's only making that self-doubt and fear in people worse. So then they hold
Yeah.
back, and then they get to that point where you said with yourself that you felt this void. And, you know, and I've been there too. And I think that that's probably why, you know, you and I get along so well, and why we try to bring out the best in others, because we knew that we ourselves were holding ourselves back from shining in our own lights, and revealing our greatness
Yeah.
to the world, because we were scared. And now we both have podcasts, but now we're both, which is a big scary step. I'm sure it was a scary step for you too, because it was for me. But the greater
Yes.
mission and purpose of that was to reach other people like us, or people that needed to hear our message, and get that thriving confidence, and, you know, get that superhuman ability to feel that they can conquer whatever they, you know, achieve whatever they want to. No, there's nothing too big or small. Like, it's just whatever will fill your heart and soul, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It is.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. So I think that that's going to lead me nicely into the question that I always ask everyone, which is, what does summoning your superhuman mean to you, Sosin?
Um, for me, it is persisting past the fear. That is unleashing my superhuman. And it's really just, you know, sometimes when we want to take those big steps, or something that is just different, or taking a step out into the unknown, it really does take unleashing your superhuman to really persist past that fear. And that is what it is for me. And when you I think about like Superman, right? When I think about Superman, and I think about kryptonite,
Mm,
and kryptonite is like basically a repellent. It stops him from, you know, going into that place, even if it's something that, you know, something he has to do, or someplace he has to go. The kryptonite is repelling him back. He can't take it. But summoning your superhuman and then unleashing your superhuman is, what if we change the narrative, right? And what if that kryptonite is something we can actually persist past? You know, tapping into something that is greater than your normal self, greater than, you know, what you ever thought of yourself, you know, and persisting past that fear, persisting past the things that you feel block you, and just
mm.
doing it anyway. That is what unleashing your superhuman means to me.
That's amazing. Thank you. Yeah,
No problem.
it's true. And I couldn't cap that off any better myself. Like, that's really a beautiful way of putting it as well. So, wow. Thank you so much. Like,
No
you
problem.
shared so much wonderful information with us, and your story and your journey, and, you know, how you've truly come to be in this place now where you embody everything that you now believe. And obviously you have a lot of self-love for yourself now. And, you know, and I honor you. You took as well a social media break. You know,
Yes.
you like, I need to take those things. I was like, oh, it's great. Like I saw that, I was like, that's, you know, but I think I do that like unknowingly. I just kind of check out. I just
Yeah.
can't. I'm not in the headspace to post. I don't want to force it. I don't want to be
Yeah.
fake and just do it. Like that's just not who I am. And then I try to stay true to that. So I when I saw that you did that, I was like, respect. Like that's great.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
I think like honestly, I think one of the things that scares a lot of introverts is that they feel like, oh, if they want to do something, maybe like do something different, be active on social media, that kind of thing, that they always have to be active. They always have to kind of do things in an extroverted kind of way. And that's what kind of keeps them back. But I'm here to say that you don't have to do it that way. If you need, you know, some breaks or some things in there to make the system like work for you, like you can do it, and you can, like, the right people will like gravitate towards that. The right like people will really respect that and respect the fact like, okay, she's human. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, you don't have to be scared. You know, you can do things in a way that is true to you, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I do try to respect and honor and give myself grace those times where I really do, you know,
Yeah.
I try to do so much, but then it's like, hang on, take a step back. There's only so much you can do. And yeah, we do need to show ourselves a little bit more grace. And
Yeah.
thank you for being that voice. And
No
thank you
problem.
for sharing so much words of wisdom with us today. I truly invite everyone listening to this to connect with her. I'm going to put all of her, just all of her handles, everything that you need to know about her in the connecting with her in the show notes. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here today and sharing this with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.